Alrighty, welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Not at the studio today. I'm actually off. I'm back in Houston with my parents. I'm in my parents' house. I'm in my pops' man cave. It's pretty cool. It's got some Giant stuff. But we do have some breaking news to get to. And look, this is why you subscribe to the channel. No matter if we're at the office, whether we're off, we're on vacation, we're at our parents' house. We get you guys a video on the latest Giants news and rumors. And we have news and rumors to break down. We're going to talk about Derek Carr as a potential Daniel Jones replacement come this offseason because he was just benched by the Las Vegas Raiders. Jarrett Stidham is going to start those last two games. Jeremy Fowler is saying that maybe a trade could come or he could be cut. The Raiders could save $25+ million if they move on from him this offseason. As we know, Daniel Jones is a free agent. The Giants declined his fifth-year option. We'll talk about Derek Carr in a second. But first, let's break down the news of the day surrounding the New York Football Giants. The Giants signed linebacker Jarrad Davis from the Lions practice squad to fill Shane Lemieux's spot. Shane Lemieux has been added to IR, been dealing with that toe injury. The second year in a row he's been dealing with it. I think he's a solid player. Didn't play that good this year when he played, but as we know, I say it all the time, the best ability is availability, and Shane Lemieux has not been that. So he goes to IR. His 53-man roster spot then goes to Jarrad Davis as the Giants signed Davis off of the Lions practice squad. Remember, Davis was a guy that was a first-round draft pick back in the 2017 NFL draft. A lot of Giants fans wanted the Giants to select Jarrad Davis in the first round, but 2 picks before he went, it was Evan Ingram. Davis has appeared in 3 games so far for the Lions this season. This is a guy that gets a lot of tackles. I mean, he started 14 games his rookie season, started 16 his second season, 11 the next year. He has a career 10.5 sacks, career 19 tackles for loss, 23 QB hits, 333 tackles in a 6-year career. Spent a little time with the Jets back in 2021. I mean, with the Giants getting rid, or I guess cutting Tae Crowder, and then Tae Crowder was then signed to the Steelers practice squad. A lot of movement been going on. The Giants had a spot to fill. And it sounds like it is going to be Jarrad Davis starting to mix in with that inside linebacker position with guys like Jalen Smith and Micah McFadden. We saw Landon Collins last 2 games play a little bit at that Mike Backer spot. I thought he looked solid, but the Giants definitely wanted to add some more beef. I would say talent and just another body at that spot. Talent is something that Jarrad Davis has. I don't expect him to come in and light the world on fire, be the Giants' new starting inside linebacker for the next 5-10 years. But this is a guy that can come in and produce. I mean, in the 3 games that he's played this year, he does only have 3 tackles, but every other year the guy racks up tackles. In 2018, he had 100 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 10 QB hits to go with 6 sacks. So the guy has some talent. He's not the fastest sideline to sideline guy, not really a good coverage linebacker, but he is someone that can plug and play and fit those run fills that the Giants have been needing. It's so much pressure on the front four to slow down the run game, and we've seen that be somewhat of a problem for the New York Giants, especially against Washington. Seemed like every time they ran the ball, they got 6 yards per pop, even with the Vikings on first down. So expect to see Davis as a guy that will come in and get some reps at the inside linebacker spot. I want you to grade the signing for me, because I know a lot of Giants fans know who Jarrad Davis is. Went to Florida, drafted in 2017. He's 28, 6'1", 250 pounds. He was drafted 21st overall. A lot of people wanted him in the first round. Now he is a Giant, so I want you to grade the signing of Jarrad Davis on a scale, or I guess there is really no scale. I'm on vacation. I'm just doing it because this is what I do. I do it for you guys. But give me a grade of Jarrad Davis and the signing with Big Blue. A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off in the comments section. We obviously know the Giants win this weekend against the Indianapolis Colts. They are in. I've been saying it for weeks. If you win, you are in. And if the Giants beat the Colts this Sunday at MetLife, they are going to make the 2022 NFL playoffs. It's a wild season. Not a lot of people thought they could be here. I'm not one of those guys. Go back and check our record prediction videos. I had the Giants in 2 different ones. I think at 9-8, and then another one at 8-9. Look, They have had a great season, and it would be the cherry on top to make the playoffs. And I was talking with my dad, obviously a Giants fan. That's who raised me to be a Giants fan. I was like, we were talking, like, you beat the Colts and you're in. And he's like, yeah, that's great. But if you don't beat the Colts, you don't deserve to make the playoffs. And I thought that was a good point. This is the biggest game the Giants have played. And I know I've said that a couple of times this year, going back to the Washington game. But this is the biggest game the Giants have played since the 2016 playoff game against the Green Bay Packers after the boat incident and all the Odell Beckham Jr. drops. Eli starts off hot in that game. It's the biggest game. You win and you're in. You're going to the playoffs, and that would be a great first season for Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen and crew. There's been some hiccups along the way, but at the end of the day, it's all about the result. And if the result is a spot in the playoffs, that's a good season for the New York Football Giants. We're going to break down those Derek Carr rumors in a second, but make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I'm going to do a couple more at-home videos before I get back into the office on Sunday for game day. So make sure you guys stay in the loop. We get you guys content year-round, no matter if we're on vacation or whatever it is. When there's news and rumors to talk about, we talk about. So go down, talk about them. So go down right now and hit that big red button. Let's talk about Derek Carr, because the elephant in the room for the Giants is, what are they going to do with Daniel Jones going forward? Some people say re-sign him. Some people say let him go. Some people say short-term, long-term, 30 mil, 20 mil, whatever it is. Whatever side you stand on, you have to at least acknowledge the Giants have a decision to make this offseason. This staff, this regime, did not pick up Daniel Jones' fifth-year option in the offseason. They could have picked it up, added another year under his contract. They did not. I'm sure they are pleased with what he's done this year. He's had a good season. Daniel Jones has had a good season. But they said there were rumors that they talked to players at the bye week about an extension. Those being Julian Love, being Dexter Lawrence, and Saquon Barkley. They didn't talk to Daniel Jones. Joe Schoen has been asked about Daniel Jones, and he said he still has games to play. To think that the Giants are sold, and once the season's done, they're going to send a contract to Daniel Jones, and he's going to sign it, and they're going to move on, I think is being a bit unaware. I do think the Giants will sign Daniel Jones, but you're telling me they're not going to look around? They're not going to shop? They're not going to see what's out there? They're not going to see what shakes out in the draft? Maybe in the trade market? Giants are going to do everything that Joe Schoen is going to do, everything he can to get the best quarterback on this team, in any way he can. And then if that is Daniel Jones, then great. All I want to see is the Giants win. The Giants are winning. But I think we have to talk about some options. And one is Derek Carr, after he was recently released by, he was benched by the Las Vegas Raiders. He's not going to start week 17 and 18. A tweet comes out from Jeremy Fowler saying that the Raiders want to keep Derek Carr healthy so they can test the trade market in the offseason. Everybody knows that Derek Carr signed a very team-friendly contract in the offseason before the season, and he could be cut at any time with any dead cap at all. He's on like a $40 million deal right now, and I think you save about $28 million on the cap if you cut Derek Carr. You don't play in week 17. You don't play in week 18. A lot of people think he may be cut if they are unable to trade him. Is Derek Carr great? No. Is he terrible? No. Is he good? He's a good quarterback. Is he top 10? No. But is he good? I think it is fair to say that Derek Carr is good. He has 4 seasons of over 4,000 yards in his career. Back in 2021, he threw for 4,800 yards and led the Las Vegas Raiders to a 10-7 record after John Gruden got fired. Bisaccia becomes the head coach. Henry Ruggs goes to prison. He has no weapons, and he threw for 4,800 yards and 23 touchdowns. To act like this guy is some stiff is just not true. Is he great? No. Is he good? Yes. He's a B overall quarterback is what I would say Derek Carr is. Does he win a lot of games? I mean, in 2016, he went 12-3 as a starter. 12-3 as a starter and led the Raiders to the playoffs, was in the MVP conversation. He actually finished third in MVP voting in 2016. He is still only 31 years old. So I want to ask this question. I'm not saying I would go out and sign or trade Derek Carr. But what I'm saying is the Giants are going to exhaust every option and every avenue to get the best quarterback in place to play football for the New York Football Giants in 2023. If it's Daniel Jones, great. I don't care if it's Daniel Jones. I want the best guy possible. The guy that's going to win us football games. And I think that could be Daniel Jones. So I want to ask you this question before we get on out of here. Who would you rather have as your starter in 2023? Type 4 for Derek Carr, type 8 for Daniel Jones. 4 for Derek Carr, 8 for Daniel Jones. Let me know which one of those guys you want as the Giants starting quarterback next season. I appreciate everyone, as always, for tuning in. No graphics today, no green screen, no fun stats, just at the house. Want to get you guys a video. I know it's been a couple of days. I've been on vacation. I'm going to do more videos. We're going to do a Dory Jackson, Xavier McKinney injury update, I think, tomorrow. Appreciate everyone tuning in. This is awesome. Hope everyone had a happy holidays. New Year's is right around the corner. Blessings for everybody. I love you guys. Thanks for always tuning in. Whether we agree or disagree, one thing we can agree on is that we love the New York Football Giants. Appreciate you guys. See you later. Go Big Blue.